So you got pre-approved. Yay! Now it's time to go house hunting. The question that I get all the time from buyers is, do I use a realtor? I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons right now. Welcome back to my channel. This is Reyna Fullerton. I'm a real estate agent here in Houston, Texas with Jerry Fullerton Realty. I work with buyers and sellers and help them with the real estate questions. I also help agents with the real estate needs. If this sounds like you, consider subscribing to my channel and also make sure to ring the bell button. That way you won't miss any future tips. So you got your pre-approval. The next step is the house hunting. A lot of decisions to make. One of them, do I need to use a real estate agent? Well, I'm gonna lay out the facts and I'm gonna let you make the decision. The main reason that I find consumers think that using a real estate agent is a disadvantage to them is because they believe that dealing with the listing agent directly will get them a better deal. They think the listing agent will save the buyer's agent's commission. However, this all depends on how the listing agreement was written between the seller and the listing agent. If it's a variable listing agreement, most likely they're going to save a portion of it, not the whole buyer's agent commission. If it's not, then the seller is going to have to pay that agent the same amount regardless of you using a buyer's agent or not. Even if you were to save that money for the seller, you are going at a disadvantage. The listing agent is looking for the seller's best interest, not yours. No matter how friendly they are, no matter how nice they are, all the agents are supposed to be fair to all parties. However, the fiduciary is to the seller. This is a 30-year commitment. Important information, probably the biggest purchase in your life. You need to make sure that you know what you're signing, that you're getting the proper disclosures, the proper documentation and proper information before you jump into it. Going through the home buying process without representation is like going through a divorce and asking your partner's lawyer to represent you. Most likely you're not going to get a good deal. You should get representation. It could be a real estate agent, it could be an attorney. The difference between those two is the attorney is going to have to be paid by you. The real estate agent is paid for by the seller. So it is free to you. Yes, you heard me right. You don't have to pay for it. Let's be real. All homes are now online. Consumers have access to all of them. I have many buyers that often call me so excited about a house that I found that meets exactly their criteria. They want to go and see it right now. So I go online, I look it up, and come to find out that the house is under contract. Those sites are not necessarily 100% accurate. We have access to first-hand information. As soon as the house goes on the market, you will be notified. So you get that with our services for free. Using an agent will help you learn information that is not available to consumers, such as information about showings, if the property is in a multiple offer situation, if there's exclusions, stuff that is not staying with the house. All that stuff may not be available to consumers. What about brand new homes? I often come to see that my buyers get all excited and they're driving by a neighborhood. They said, it's not gonna hurt. And they just get out of the car and go into that model home. If you're working with an agent, make sure that you tell them you are represented. The moment that you walk into that model home and you don't mention representation, probably your agent will not be able to help you with this transaction anymore because they won't acknowledge your agent as your representative since you walked in there on your own. Make sure that your agent is registering you. Make sure that you talk to your agent. If you like a neighborhood, call them. I'm pretty sure they will make the time. That sales agent, as nice as they are, because they're very nice, is working on the best interest of the seller, of the builder, not your best interest. You can offer a different price than the one that they're asking for. You can get much more incentives, and your agent can help you with all those things. Using a real estate agent is free to the buyer. is usually paid for by the seller. You get all the knowledge. All you have to do is just sit back and relax. Now that we've determined that you should use a real estate agent, it's in your best interest. How do you choose the right real estate agent? A lot of questions that you can ask in order to identify if that's the right agent for you. For example, if you're a first-time home buyer or an investor, you want to make sure that you ask the questions and find out if they have the right experience for your specific situation. Do they have experience with first-time home buyers? How many first-time home buyers have they helped in the past? Or investors, the same thing. You want to make sure that they can lead you through the process and that they have done it before. This is not the first time. They work alone. Do they work with a partner? Do they have the support? Are they going to be able to take your calls? Maybe you work from 2 to midnight and you're only available in the mornings. Are they going to be able to show you homes at that time? Maybe you work on Saturdays and Sundays and you're available only Mondays and Tuesdays. Do you work on this full-time, part-time? If they work with a team, they should be able to partner up and show you the houses that you need to see in a timely manner. You want to make sure that they explain to you the home buying process so that you are ahead of the curve and you know what to expect. Setting expectations, I always tell that to all my agents. You guys have to set expectations. That way you as a consumer are not caught by surprise. Working with a real estate agent will help you identify what's the best price to offer on a property. Texas is a non-disclosure state. Sold prices are not displayed publicly. However, as agents, we do have access to those and we're able to provide you with an estimate of the homes that sold in that neighborhood, similar to the house that you're interested in, so that you can offer the best price and making sure that you're close to that appraised value. I hope that this video helped you deciding on using a real estate agent. Remember, it doesn't cost you a thing to have all that advice at your fingertips. You will have access to see the houses, to see what the other houses in the same neighborhood sold for. You will have access to their advice and their experience. They can walk you through the home buying process and make it so much easier for you. If you're in Houston, Texas, I will be more than happy to help you buying a house. I have a whole team of agents that work with me so that we can cover all Houston metro area. We also have agents throughout the whole state in Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. And if you are not in Texas, I can also refer you to somebody that will be able to help you out. I can interview them. I can make sure that they meet the criteria and expert on your specific situation. If you feel that you learned something new from my video, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure to ring the bell button. That way you will be notified every time that I submit a new video. See you guys next week.